So you want to install your own bathroom exhaust fan, probably because you're tired of the steam building up and condensation forming on the walls. You're probably tired of people smelling up the bathroom and you're like, it's time for a change. In this video, we'll go over a few different items. We'll go over mounting the bathroom exhaust fan in the attic, because that's where we're on the second story. We're going to go over connecting it to existing power, and we're gonna install a new light switch. We're gonna go over installing a roof vent and the proper way to do that. We're gonna go over connecting the bathroom exhaust fan to the roof vent and how that'll look. During this project, you have to keep in mind that you're dealing with electricity, and so always turn off power when working on any circuits. Keep yourself safe, do the research beforehand so nothing bad happens. But buckle up, because we're about to install the bathroom fan. Here is most of the products that I'll be using for this project. I'll go over them real quick. This is the insulated flexible duct that'll connect the exhaust fan to the vent cap. Then I bought this kit over here that includes the vent cap and flexible duct or vent that goes through the roof. That's how I'm going to tackle this. I have a 2x6 that'll go in the attic that will have the exhaust fan attached to it, because currently we only have 2x4s, and the installation manual for this fan calls for a 2x6 for it to attach to. We have down here just electrical components. Those U-shaped staples will be used to secure the wires as needed. Some wire twists, some WAGO connectors, 3, 2, and 5. Switches, receptacles. I have 2 different sets of wires. So this set here is indoor 14 gauge 3 wire. This over here is outdoor wire. It's just some extra I had left over from a previous project. It's 14 gauge 2 wire. I have the new gang box that will replace the existing gang box that's a single gang box. This is a dual gang box. It'll house this new switch. It's a dual command style switch, which has a fan and a light option. This was a little pricey. And then some switch covers, receptacle covers. This is what will be used to hold the wire in place that connects to the exhaust fan. And over here is what this guy says: 4-inch, 25-foot length. It's already insulated. And one thing that I'm missing here that'll be helpful is tape, some duct tape that'll go around this flexible duct and connect to the vent, and it will also connect to the exhaust fan. One item I forgot to include were these screws that I will use to secure the 2x4 to the 2x6 when I'm in the attic. Now I'm going to measure how far away I want it from this wall. This is the exterior wall here, and this wall. This is the other exterior wall. So I'm going to measure about where I want the ceiling fan to be installed. I'm going to go to the attic, and then I'm going to measure out this distance, measure out this distance, and then kind of see where my joists are, because I want to attach to one of the joists in the attic. So I'm going to then figure out where I want that fan after I make that measurement up there, and then poke through, and then basically cut away from the attic side down below after I poke through and verify that's where I want that fan to be. I got a piece of scrap cardboard, and basically this is where I think I want the fan. So I wanted to kind of represent it before I made anything permanent, kind of see where it's placed and if I like that placement. So I just measured, it's about 3.5 feet off of this wall here to the edge of this scrap piece of cardboard, and then it's about 6 feet from this wall to that edge. I think this is where I want the fan to be placed. I think it's not directly above the shower, and it's not centered between the doorway, but it's centered between the shower. Alright, so I'm up here in the attic. You can see the insulation. And it's best to, I believe, not touch the insulation, because once you kind of disturb it, it's not laying as evenly, even though this isn't really laying evenly. But I believe it's best to leave it where it is, because it loses its insulation value once you kind of step on it or move it around. But I'm going to have to kind of get back there and measure 6 feet from this edge over here and 3.5 feet from this edge over here. And keep in mind that the wall cavity is about 4 inches. So if you're measuring from, that's the outside exterior wall right there. So if I'm measuring from that, I'm going to add 4 inches onto 3.5 feet to get 3 feet 10 inches. And that'll be 6 foot 4 inches. And hopefully I don't fall. Okay, so 6 feet is in between this support and this support. It's about, you can see, that's 7 foot. And so we're around right in here. So I'm going to clear that away and see what we're working with. So I took a step back and I measured. That's about where I want to be. I'm going to take a nail and I'm going to basically push the nail through the ceiling right around there. I'll get a closer look at that. But I had to clear the insulation away. I didn't do a very good job of keeping it nice and neat, but yeah, that's the gist of it. All right, so I'm going to poke a hole right about here. Right through. So it's not close to the joist because I'm gonna come out. So maybe right around here. I'll stab it in. Alright, I did the deed. It's right there. I'm gonna go check and see where it is downstairs. Not bad, not bad. That's where it came out. And as you can see, as the nail came through, it did move some paint. So it would be, if I did this in the wrong location, it would be a little bit more difficult to fix than just a little bit of plaster. Either way, you would have to use some plaster and then paint it. But see, a little bit of paint came off with it with some drywall as it came through the ceiling. So it might be better to go up through the ceiling and then find the nail. That might be the better way to do it. The nail is about 3 foot 9 inches from this wall and about 6 foot 9 inches from that wall. So I was close. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to center the fan on that nail and then put it right up against the joist that it's closest to in the attic, which is right around here. I have everything situated. I have a sawzall, I think that's what that's called, a drill to get the to secure the 2x6, the fan to trace out. I have my pencil in my pocket, the hammer's still up here, the 2x6 is right there. I'm gonna go over there and basically secure the 2x6, trace out the fan, cut the fan through, and then secure the fan. To secure the fan to the 2x6, I'm going to use these ring shank nails, and they look to be almost 2 inches. And the ring shank have the edges on them, so when they go into the wood, those edges hold on to the wood. One item to note is that I cut this 2x6 to just be larger than the fan. So what's going to happen is I'm going to secure this 2x6 to the 2x4. Actually, the fan is upside down. Like that. And so screws will go in here, and this fan will be set in place. And one thing to note is I'm not sure how important this is, but the way this wood was cut, since it's in the attic and the attic is gonna be hot and cold and hot and cold, I'm thinking this guy might bow over time. So what I'm thinking of doing is putting one screw here, maybe one screw in the center, doing the same thing down here, and then in the center here. Sucks that there's a knot here, but whatever. But that's what I'm thinking of doing. What I'm gonna do now is go into the attic and then place the fan. Well, first I'll install the 2x6 and secure it to the 2x4 in the attic. And then I will trace the fan out where I want to have it cut through. And then this trash bag is here to kind of catch all the debris. Hopefully it stays up and hopefully that piece of drywall doesn't fall down into the bottom of the bag and then it poofs everywhere. But hopefully this kind of captures everything. So I decided to put 5 screws. And you want to make sure that the screw is flush so it doesn't get in the way of the fan. You can see I slipped a few times. But yeah, this isn't going anywhere. Then I can trace the fan out. So I traced it out, started cutting, and then I can only get so close to the 2x6. So I think I'm going to finish it inside the bathroom, and then I'll widen it if I need to. But that's kind of as far as I've gotten up here. I've cut through the ceiling from the attic into the bathroom, and it looks like I did not go outside the trash bag boundary. So hopefully all the dust is still inside. So this is what it looks like from down here. I am going to use a knife to finish the edge around. So even though I put the trash bag and secured it to the ceiling, after I took it down, I still made a pretty big mess. So this is the fan in the ceiling. It fits pretty nicely. I'm gonna basically make the bottom of the fan flush with the finished surface of the ceiling. I'm gonna use these nails to secure basically in these flanges on both sides, in the top and bottom. I'm gonna use 4 nails total. You probably shouldn't use ring shank, but I have them left over from a previous job. And this is my house, so putting them in, I know I'm gonna have a tougher time getting them out, but that's okay. It's in the attic. Okay, so the screws are in. Hopefully it's level with the, or flush with the ceiling, because I didn't really check. should do that. You should check if it's flush with the ceiling, the bottom of the fan. So hopefully, you know, it's good. Fingers crossed. So it is flush kind of on this corner over here, and then it's sagging a little bit in this corner, and then it's above the surface of the finished ceiling on this side.